Labour Party turned into a circus as Rayner and Starmer lock horns after witty comment from Boris. Deputy Labour leader Angela Rayner joked that she was getting aspirations to replace Sir Keir Starmer as she took on Boris Johnson during Prime Minister's questions. Angela Rayner stood in for Sir Keir after the Labour leader tested positive for COVID for the second time, leaving her to take on Boris Johnson during PMQs. But Ms Rayner, who has been long teased for her rumoured leadership bid, was once again slammed for her apparent division with Sir Keir as the Prime Minister delivered a dig about her Labour ambitions. Ms Rayner took on Mr Johnson head-on and said that she perhaps should get aspirations to become Prime Minister. The deputy leader asked Mr Johnson how he would get a grip of inflation and tax increases during her appearance in the House of Commons. Mr Johnson responded and said, "It's great to be here with the Right Honourable Shadow Secretary of State for the future of work. We know the future job that she has in mind. I wish her well." The House of Commons roared at the comment as the Conservative leader said he was focused on getting more jobs for the British people. As Ms Rayner rose from her seat, she told the House, "Mr Speaker, I've heard through the grapevine there may be a vacancy for Prime Minister soon. So maybe I should have aspirations." Disagreements between Sir Keir and Ms Rayner have become more apparent over the past few months after the deputy leader didn't know the details of a sudden Labour reshuffle. Ms Rayner was giving a speech at the Institute for Government when the cabinet reshuffle was made and told Times Radio, "I reckon that Keir would tell me first, yeah?" In May, Ms Rayner was also sacked as party chair and national campaign coordinator, which was believed to be a result of Labour's Batley and Spen by-election defeat. Following the sacking and subsequent new roles given to Ms Rayner, Mr Johnson commented on the events in the House of Commons. He said, "Note that in any pride of lions, Mr Speaker, it is the male who tends to occupy the position of titular of nominal authority. While the most dangerous beast, the prize hunter of the pack, was in fact the lioness. A point that I'm sure Keir Starmer bears in mind as he contemplates the member, his friend, the Right Honourable Member for Ashton-under-Lyme." The deputy leader, the Shadow First Secretary of State, the Shadow Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster and Shadow Secretary of State for the future of work. Though the more titles he feeds her, Mr Speaker, the hungrier I fear she is likely to become. Ms Rayner also supported Rebecca Long-Bailey's leadership campaign. Pensioners supported with the £300 winter fuel payments, cold weather payments worth £25 a week for 4 million people up and down the country. But in another cheeky intervention at PMQs, Mr Johnson branded a Lib Dem suggestion on the cost of living crisis balls, after the Speaker mistakenly called the Lib Dem leader Sir Ed Davey Ed Balls, the former Shadow Chancellor. Ms Rayner accused the PM and his Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, of economic mismanagement, low growth and neglect of our public services. Mr Johnson insisted that the government has taken steps to help poorer people, and suggested the country would have spent longer in lockdown under Labour. But Labour's deputy called for serious solutions to stop people falling into poverty or debt. She said, "Inflation is about to hit 6%, that's the highest rate since the early 90s when the Conservatives had been in power for over a decade. Marred in their sleeves, with a divided party. A Prime Minister losing the support of his backbenchers and governing shambolically, and a Labour Party who is ready to take over and provide Britain with a better future." Accusing Labour of wanting to rejoin the EU, the PM said the party's incompetence had ruined this country time and time again.